This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate Company. We're also brought to you by D&M Roofing, the premier commercial and residential roofing contractor serving the greater Omaha area. Hey, you're not going to find another show anywhere in the state that talks about what we talk about, and that is construction and business expansion and new companies and new people coming to town. It's all about the growth and development of your favorite city. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring on my co-host, a man that we like to refer to as a legendary real estate deal maker, because he pretty much is, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Mr. Beals.
Well, it's good to see you here, sir, on this beautiful summer morning. Did you have a good week?
It was a busy week. It was NAI NP Dodge. We're rocking it, and it's a fast commercial real estate market, both for leasing and sales.
Yeah, I mean, I know just in talking to you over the last couple of weeks, you personally have all sorts of deals in the hopper. You've been a busy guy, and so you wouldn't let anyone tell you that there's any reason to slow down these days.
No, the biggest question I get, Jeff, on commercial real estate is what's happening with the office market. Restaurants and retail seems to be coming back pretty strong. There's some retail spots that are getting repurposed to kind of mixed use or more service type businesses. But the office market, and what I tell people, I say, number one, it's too early to tell because not every company's made a decision. But also, you don't even have to be in our industry if you think about it this way. If it's a large company, and a lot of these companies seem to be sending out questionnaires to their rank and file, and if they have a number of employees and there's a difference between the responses on whether you want to work from home, if you're on the corporate level or management level, when you can make your own decisions, and if you have an eye doctor appointment or you have to take your kid to something and you don't have to be accountable to your boss and his or her boss, then if you're in a cube, and if you're in a cube all day and you've been at home for the last year or so, given the choice, if you can use your own bathroom, if you can take care of your pets and your kids' issues and things like that, not have to check in all the time, you probably want to stay home. And you're used to it. You've adapted. So, of course, those people want to stay home. But if you can separate work and home, you're probably going to want to go into the office.
I can tell you that the traffic in the afternoons is really starting to look like pre-pandemic Omaha. And while on one hand, it kind of was nice having a year without it, on the other hand, it's a great sign. It's a great sign. And to me, that means a lot of people must be at their office.
Absolutely. When we were traveling during the pandemic, taking all precautions, of course,
yes.
You go to these places and you're like, wow, this is great. There's no lines. We can get into any restaurant. We can do all this kind of stuff. And even Cabo San Lucas in January, I was kind of like, this is great. But I said, this isn't sustainable because if they're not at near full capacity or at least making money, these services and entertainment options and travel options aren't going to last. Now, I'm a little upset with some of the airlines that are charging 3 times as much as if you would have bought a ticket a few months ago.
Airline tickets right now and car rentals are brutal. I've got a few trips coming up later this summer for work, and I was just kind of poking around on Expedia, and it definitely causes you to kind of pause for a moment when you see these prices. But at least those I can pass through to a client.
Within a month or so, people that are going to Vegas, direct flights went from like $300 to $700, and I'm talking about a month or two in advance. I'm not talking about, hey, let's go to Vegas this weekend on a drunken Thursday.
We are on the verge of sounding like old men. When I was your age, you could get a malted milkshake for a quarter.
Where? I'm there.
I don't know. It's probably a long time ago. But that malted milkshake reminds me of Nebraska Crossing. Because at Nebraska Crossing, they have all sorts of places where you can get sweet treats to eat. They've got Rita's, which is an ice cream place. You can go to, Auntie Anne's, and then Purple Acai Bowl. You and I were talking about acai as a flavor before the show started. And at Nebraska Crossing, they have Purple Acai Bowl. I've been there. I tell you what, if you haven't had lunch and you want a meal that tastes a little bit sweet but is still healthy and will fill you up, just go get one of those acai bowls. at Purple Acai Bowls.
It's amazing how you can bring in Nebraska Crossing into any conversation. Like, hey, I got a new washer and dryer. Really? You probably didn't get it at Nebraska Crossing.
No, and because
but if you went to Nebraska Crossing, you could look it up online.
I know, and the sad thing is, if you don't get anything,
I wouldn't have got the 15% off.
You don't get the 15% off, and that's because Nebraska Crossing has fast cash, and you can sign up for it on your phone using your Nebraska Crossing app, and then whatever credit card you associate with your fast cash sign up, make sure you always use that fast cash, or rather that credit card, when you go to Nebraska Crossing to purchase something, and then you'll get 15% put back into your digital wallet that you can use at any of the stores. Well, it's time for our News of the Week. Everyone loves News of the Week, and this is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com, where they know mortgages. Office is located at 114th and Davenport. That's right by 114th and Dodge, just a smidge south, next to Which Sandwiches. And you can find them online, like I said, at eaglemortgagecompany.com. VA, FHA, conventional loans, they help you with all of that. They're busy. It's an active market in that world right now, but they still do have time and space for you if you are thinking about refinancing or buying a new house. Well, the big news this week, TBM, is that's Trenton Bradley Maggid, is that the University of Nebraska Medical Center's Monroe Meyer Institute held a ribbon cutting. And this is about a $91 million investment at 69th and Pine Street in Exarban. Now, there are two 4-story buildings that were built in the 90s, I believe, for First Data. One of those, First Data, now Fiserv, vacated, and UNMC moved the Monroe Meyer Institute into that. That's 220,000 square feet.
They put a big water feature in there.
Yeah, well, that's part of, because Monroe Meyer, they deal with developmental disabilities, individuals with disabilities, complex healthcare needs. They serve those types of patients. And the institute had always been located on the northwest corner of the UNMC campus in Midtown. And one of the reasons why they had to move Monroe Meyer out to Exarban is because that area is going to be used for
the next project.
Yeah, and the big
appropriately
next.
Named.
Yeah,
and there was also it was the J.P. Lord School that they're tearing down too.
Yeah, and the J.P. Lord School had moved maybe a few years ago. So it had vacated for a while, moved to a different spot. And so, yes, all of that's going to be torn down, and that's supposed to make way for the $2.7 billion project that would create 8,700 jobs. All very, very exciting. But if you are a business at Exarban Village, let's say a retail or restaurant or entertainment business, you've got to be excited about this, because the Monroe Meyer Institute employs 550 people. So you're putting a lot of people in that building, and they get tens of thousands of patient visits each year.
Pickleman's is loving it.
Oh, yeah, Pickleman's and all those other restaurants there. It's yet another source of activity and business in the village, which is good to see. Hey, let's take our perspective and go way out west, and we're going to talk about A View West Shores. A View West Shores. A View is the name of an event venue that is located pretty far northwest, the original location on State Street. You and I were there for a function not too terribly long ago.
Yeah.
And anyway, they're doing a second location, and this one is going to be located in West Shores. West Shores is that very nice lake neighborhood.
Sand bottom.
At about 243rd and West Dodge Road. And West Shores has been there for probably about 20 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, very nice, very desirable area, but it had always been residential. This is the first commercial building, 45,000 square feet, very nice, 2 levels, overlooks the lake, so they can have weddings there, corporate meetings, it's event space. But apparently there is also room for a retailer or a restaurant to join them. And that's getting really close to completion. If you haven't been out to that West Shores area, drive around there when you got a little time to kill. It's really, really attractive, and this building looks great.
Yeah, Frank Krejci, Frank Krejci and Century Development, they sold out of that thing a long time ago, but this was the last commercial piece that has been a long time coming.
And then, hey, we wanted to bring up a real estate education event that is on the calendar, because so many of the people in the commercial real estate and commercial real estate related fields listen to this show. There is an organization called the Commercial Real Estate Summit, which every year puts on a big full-day program at the CHI Center. This year, that's going to be on August 20th. Trenton and I have been involved with it or going to it as an attendee for many, many years. At any rate, the Commercial Real Estate Summit is going to do an extra program. It's going to be a webinar. It's going to take place in just a couple weeks, June 24th at 10 a.m. It's just an hour, but certain professions like real estate can get 1 credit hour of continuing education credits. At any rate, they're going to have a panel with 7 presidents of commercial real estate brokerage companies, one of which is our own Deb Grave from NAI-NP Dodge. And so Deb and 6 of her presidential commercial real estate managing broker colleagues are going to get on this call, this Zoom meeting, and they're going to share knowledge. And so if that appeals to you, you can sign up. And probably the best way to do it, because I can't give you the Zoom link address over the radio because you'll never remember it. So just go to growomaha.com, click on our market report. That's our weekly newsletter that we send out every Thursday. Go to the most recent one, which was a couple days ago, June 10th. And then there's a little thing in the newsletter about this event. You can click the link there, and that'll take you right to the registration.
It'd be a good event.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now, one last thing I wanted to bring up for the news. Construction is now going vertical on the performing arts music venue.
Steelhouse.
Yeah, Steelhouse. I don't know if you've driven by lately, Trenton, but you can see the concrete and the reinforced steel concrete coming out of the ground. That is really an exciting project.
Yeah, over by the Holland Center, ladies and gentlemen.
Directly north of the Holland Center, south of the Capitol District. And so, again, if you want to go take a little construction drive, that will be a fun one to look at. While you're down there, you could go just a couple blocks to the southwest, and the Mercantile building on the ConAgra campus, that's going to be probably about 5 stories or so. That's really starting to look substantial.
And the park is looking good, too.
Yeah, a lot of trees and big boulders have been added to the park. You can see on the Jean Leahy Mall, a lot of the features are it's becoming apparent what it's going to look like when it's a finished product. They got a lot more to do at Heartland and Lewis and Clark, but those are coming along nicely as well. And folks, that is your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. We love Eagle Mortgage Company because they take such good care of people who are trying to finance a house or refinance an existing loan. Going to take our first break of the morning. When we come back, we're going to bring on our good friend Stacy Winters. Stacy is the proprietor of Omaha Food Lovers Group on Facebook and one of the local restaurant gurus. We're going to talk food. We're going to talk beverage. It's basically Trenton Magin and Jeff Beal's second favorite thing to talk about after real estate development. So get ready. It's foodie time on Grow Omaha coming up for the next couple of segments. You're listening to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI-NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, sir, you ready?
I gotta live up to that.
Stephanie's maiden is Winter, right? Not Winters.
Just
Winter.
she's only one winter, not
She's
two winters.
singular.
Where's she from?
Southwest Minnesota, appropriately with that name.
What's funny is I have a cousin who she married a guy whose last name was Winter.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I mean, she wasn't a Winters. Her mom was a Winters.
Okay.
But she ended up marrying a Winter, so it's kind of a funny, yeah.
Apparently, when before Stephanie was born, her parents were debating about what to name her, and at one point, my father-in-law wanted to name her Windy. Could you imagine Windy Winter? That'd be a little rough.
Especially if you stutter.
I always said, if I had a daughter, Summer would be a great name.
Summer
Winter.
Oh, Summer Winter.
Well, Ralphie May, of blessed memory, Ralphie May, the comedian.
Summer Winter.
He has I think he has like an April May and August May. His kids are named something like that. Yeah.
Summer
So
Winter.
some of the cool things, just like in the group though, has been people posting like can somebody offer this? Like that's how the whole flights thing started. Like coffee flights,
Yeah.
because somebody posted in the group
Oh, wow.
wanting coffee flights.
Oh.
We got mentioned in the World Herald because of it,
Oh.
because that was like somebody reached out and said, hey, they're doing this in Scottsdale, Arizona. Can somebody do it here?
Mm-hmm.
And then Zen has gotten so popular. Like,
They're cool. That's a great place.
Yeah, their owner's really
I sold
good.
that
really
building
good,
to
really
the
good on
developers.
social media. She's really good. Also the ice cream nachos. That was another one somebody posted the other day. Like somebody needs to offer this.
So you see it somewhere else, you put it on there.
You put it in the group and it goes viral.
So you're making it literally so that Omaha's not as behind the times as it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, there's somebody wanted like all the flights, right? The coffee flights, ice cream flights, margarita flights, all
Well,
of that.
it's so funny because you had mentioned this week that we wanted to bring up flights,
Yeah.
and just this morning I was doing a quick look through on Omaha Food Lovers just to see if there were any other ideas.
Yeah.
And I saw a margarita flights post.
Yeah.
And the split coffee cup or whatever.
Yeah, that's Zen. So those posts go like I shared one post. I think it was on the split coffee cup. You know, I showed you the post.
Yep.
That one went to 42,000.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and the flights ones, like every time I share a flight, something gets shared with flights. I'm gonna get 25,000 easily every time.
As we build the Grow Omaha YouTube page, we're in awe of what you build in 2 years. I mean, it's like
Because we know how hard it is.
Yeah.
We're seeing firsthand how hard that is to go like that.
Yeah.
Do you realize that? Okay, you're at 62.4 right now. If you ever get to 100, which is possible, that would represent 10% of the metro area population.
Yeah.
Now, of course, some of those people live out of state.
I mean, if you
but-
just would like if you just do it on the Omaha population, right? Not the
Right.
You're way over.
Yeah, 20%.
Yeah, because Omaha
You
population.
can
City of
skew,
Omaha,
you can skew stats however you want. You know that.
City of Omaha population is
More than that.
under 500.
And actually, 37% of all statistics are made up. It might be 26%. I'm not
Right.
sure.
Yeah, depends on the expert.
15 seconds.
Thank you, Delaney.
Work with me, Delaney.
You've been a little quiet over there.
Yes.
And welcome back to the show, Grow Omaha on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Jeff Beals and Trenton Maggot at your service. We represent NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. We're also brought to you by D&M Roofing. You know Eric Obremt. He's a regular on the show here. Well, he owns D&M Roofing and does a great job of running it. And one of the things he insists upon is that D&M Roofing takes good care of its clients. If you need roofing services, just go to dndmroofing.com. Going to bring on our good friend Stacy Winters. Stacy is the founder of Omaha Food Lovers Group on Facebook and a restaurant guru and someone we love to talk to. Stacy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on here. Nothing I'd rather be doing on a Saturday morning than talking food.
And we're right there with
How
you.
about eating food?
Or maybe
Well, you know
eating.
what? Eating is probably slightly ahead of talking, but I enjoy both.
Well, for those people who are not yet on Omaha Food Lovers, and if you're a restaurant person, I don't know why you wouldn't be, got 62,400 people.
Yeah, I think it's probably gone up close to 5,000 maybe since the last time I was on here. I can't remember what we were at the last time.
Oh,
but
it's gone up tremendously.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not just because of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because Omaha is a food-centric city.
We love
and,
food. Absolutely.
Definitely get on Facebook. You've probably heard of that. And it's easy to become a member. Don't cost nothing. But it's a good family-friendly site. And there's critiques on there for restaurants and things like that, but it's done in good taste, pun intended. And so definitely check out Omaha Food Lovers Facebook page and join.
Thanks, Britton.
So Stacy, Omaha Food Lovers has kind of become the hub of discussion and thought about cuisine in our town. And as I say that, I'm going to kind of throw a broad question out to you. What are some of the big topics and items of discussion that you've been seeing on the board lately?
Sure. I think some of the things that it's just been kind of cool to see is people will see things in other cities or see things, there's a lot of like the viral TikTok videos, things like that people see, and they will put it out there to groups and ask, hey, is anybody doing this or can somebody do this? So I think a lot of people have probably been seeing the coffee flights, right? Coffee flights have gotten extremely popular, and it was spurred on by a post in the group. Several places, Zen Coffee, Karma Coffee, Brew, a lot of local coffee shops have started offering it. I think the first day that Zen offered it, I believe they had close to 200 flight orders on a Saturday. They've had to go to reservation only, at least on the weekends, reservation only for the flights because of the popularity. I think the weekdays you can still go without getting a reservation, but it's that's one of the things that was popular. Somebody asked the other day about ice cream nachos, so it's like ice cream with a waffle chips, and so somebody put that out there. 2 days later, Sugar Makery in Council Bluffs, Glenwood, started offering it, and Chef Around the Block is going to be doing it here in a couple weeks at a pop-up for Let's Eat, I think. So a lot of those kind of things you're seeing, like other flights, margarita flights, boba flights, ice cream flights. Everybody wants to do that, right? That's the sampler. People want to get some good bang for their buck, and they want to be able to try everything and not have to commit to one. So.
In addition to restaurants, though, people that don't have a storefront, such as the bakeries, the specialty cake makers, all kinds of pastries and things like that, a master's hand, all these amazing confectionery places have benefited so much from Omaha Food Lovers site.
Yeah, there's been a lot of the kind of the at-home cottage bakers that have really thrived throughout the last year and a half in offering their goods and services. A lot of there are a lot of customized stuff. They obviously customer service is number one with a lot of those cottage bakers, and they offer great food, great products, and great service, and a lot of them are delivering it to you, and it's just made things have been so easy to get what you're looking for now.
Well, I love the fact that someone can post something they've experienced in Chicago, LA, Phoenix, Miami, God knows where, and then all of a sudden local restaurants who are very active users on Omaha Food Lovers and participants jump on it.
Right.
And one of the things I like about it is that one of the knocks against markets like Omaha and some of the other mid-sized markets in the Midwest is that we tend to lag behind coastal areas for certain innovations, cuisine being among them. This shortens that.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, we're not wanting for anything at this point, I don't think. I mean, there's obviously some probably cuisines that we don't have in Omaha. But you can pretty much get what you want. I think that's the coolest thing. Is like you constantly are hearing about new things that you didn't even know existed. And that's what I really like about it.
We've always though punched above our weight when it comes to cuisine or the quality of the restaurants and that sort of thing. But it seems like it's on a hell of an upward trajectory lately.
Yeah. And the Culinary Institute of Metro, having that, and we've always had wonderful customer service and great chefs in Omaha, and I think it helps attract new chefs from around the world here as well. And Omaha Food Lovers, I can only imagine that you've attracted, like Facebook pages or websites in other markets. Do you get feedback from other markets that they wish they had something like that in their market?
I haven't really got a lot of feedback from other markets. I do have some friends that have recently did a kind of a tour. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Keep Local Alive group. But they did go and kind of like a 62 city U.S. tour promoting their Facebook groups, and they were very much like we didn't see anything to magnitude of Omaha Food Lovers in any of those cities that we went out, because that's one of the things they do is they try to find those groups and that level of engagement, and that's they just didn't see it out there. I think that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, right? Is we moderate the group. We're not just, people can't do whatever they want in the group, which is cause people. There's definitely people that don't like that side of it, but we have we we try to be, it's a friendly group. I think that's what's caused, the high level of engagement, because of those, you mentioned 62,400 members, about 95% of them are actually active in the group. So that's kind of unheard of for Facebook group statistics. So to have a group of that size, but also to have 95% of them actually doing something in the group is pretty cool.
We're talking with Stacy Winters, the head of the Omaha Food Lovers Group, and we're going to take our middle of the show break. But when we come back, there are going to be a couple things on the discussion docket. First, we're going to talk to Stacy about a huge event coming up later this month that any food aficionado would love. Trent and I are definitely going to be participating in it and enjoying it. And then we're going to talk about some of the latest finds, the hidden gems. Some restaurants that maybe or maybe not you've heard of. And so you don't want to miss any of that. You're listening to Grow Omaha on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
I know I'm going to hear about this for people that watch our YouTube show, but the event we're about to talk about at Exarvit Village and the Inner Rail and the restaurants you're bringing in and everything, it's kind of like a refined version of any food festival we have in this Omaha area. Because some things are... Some of the food events to me, and Grant, I'll be the first to admit that I don't go to a lot of them, but it's almost kind of like the no offense to the carnies, but those traveling circuses that come through town and the funnel cakes and all that kind of stuff. That's how I equate some of those, and so this is the one that I think a lot of people are going to want to go to.
Yeah, this isn't like those events.
That's right. We're on break, sorry.
Oh. No, I was gonna say this really isn't like those kind of events necessarily. I think so. I'm not actually bringing in restaurants to this event. I'm bringing in more like some vendors, if you will. The Exarvit Village, Inner Rail are really the focus for the restaurant side of it.
Yeah.
And then what we're bringing in is places to supplement those.
Yeah,
so
this isn't funnel cakes and corn dogs.
Yeah. This is we're bringing in the cinnamon rolls from Master's Hand and Cornerstone Cafe, and we're bringing in Tapico Helado to do their mangonadas. We're bringing in.
What is that?
It's a Latin dessert. You should. I'm just kidding.
Amy, do you know?
What is that?
Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Mangonada. It's like a
Empanada.
No, mango nada.
Mango nada.
Yeah,
It's like lemonade.
it's
Mango
like-
lemonade.
It's basically
See,
like
she knows.
no, it's
No?
it's more like a mango sorbet.
Oh,
and then it's
okay.
got like the tagine, and then it's kind of that sweet and savory dessert. It's
wow.
if you have Tapico Helado, if you go down to 21st and Q, if you go down there, it'll be a line out the door like coneflower.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
I got to try it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really good too.
Is there another coneflower in another city?
No.
I thought they had like something in Lincoln or somewhere.
Not that, yeah.
I know there's talks about opening a second one of those up.
Yeah.
I reached
Somewhere
out
else
to
in
people,
Omaha.
so I know a couple of things that are going to be happening.
Yeah.
And I've reached out. I'm like, hey, can I talk about this today? Like, no, it's not a done deal yet. Like,
Yeah.
You can't do that. So,
Out of.
yeah.
I noticed, we had Nick Bartholomew on the show a couple weeks ago. He did a great job. And
How many did you get on BNG for the post for BNG? Like 800 likes or something like that on Omaha Food Lover?
wasn't that crazy?
It goes popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell you, which really we're thrilled about that because those posts drive a lot of traffic to our website.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
So many people click on
Yeah,
that.
your
thing.
your Facebook page is get more likes that way.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Did you see?
Well, we're more geared towards driving to the website,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
still,
yeah, yeah.
yes, still.
Did you see my comment under his about Joe McAllister? That Peer Advocates was a group that I was the first treasurer, but Jen Dodge from the Dodge family, who went to Harvard, started it, and it was the special needs kids, and we'd go to Chuck E. Cheese and those kind of places and go to their houses and play with them and everything. And Joe McAllister would wipe tables and clean up, or he was kind of a busboy or whatever at B&G, and he would play cops and robbers and imaginary catch with all the kids and everything, and he's like 21, 22 years old at the time, whatever. Greatest guy and everything. I posted a picture of him that I found with Jody Grennan, and I got some good feedback. People remembered him, but it's amazing on Omaha Food Lovers how people just they engage, man.
What I was going to mention with Nick, he made a comment because there were so many comments on that post. He made a comment that he had heard that the dead KFC at 132nd and Center was going to be a Perkins, and I thought that's really interesting. And someone wrote back, "Isn't it kind of small?" And he said, "Apparently, it's some new sort of concept.
Perkins Express drive-through.
But I thought that was really odd.
I would have been like, why wouldn't that be a good spot for B&G?
It would be.
That's what someone said.
Yeah,
And he
like-
said he looked at it actually, because when he responded, he said he looked at it, but that they were talking with Perkins already or something like that, and for some new
Then somebody
concept.
suggested
Can you imagine drunk
McAllister-
drive-through, like give Taco Bell a run for his money?
Oh yeah.
Somebody suggested the McAllisters out there. I didn't even realize they had a drive-through.
People
but
think
it
that's
does.
haunted or something. It's like,
You know, I
it doesn't have a drive-through. It
It
does
does.
not.
That's what's.
Yeah, there's
it
a
does.
window.
There's a window. Like,
There is a window.
Because I got
Really?
challenged on it because it was somebody.
There is a window.
Yeah.
You drove over there?
No, somebody posted the window.
I actually can remember because I used to go there for the iced tea a lot
Yeah.
because that's not far from our office.
Yeah.
I went over there constantly for their iced tea,
That was the strangest place.
and a lot of times you would see people getting stuff through that window. And I think it was just pickup. I think you had to
Yeah.
prearrange.
Yeah, it was
Like they didn't
called-
have
they
a
didn't have a
drive-through
drive-up.
speaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, their iced tea rocks. McAllister's.
So that location he had on Cass fell through, huh?
Yeah, and then apparently he was talking about Salsaritas a lot.
Yeah.
Now I think Salsaritas is still open though, isn't it?
Yeah, but the owner of that,
I don't think they are.
someone bought the
They-
business and bought the building, I think.
They closed. They opened. They closed. They opened.
Okay.
The Taco
I always thought it was a
John's,
so-so kind of place.
the Taco John's owner
Never went.
sold him the building.
Okay, so yeah, but then he said that fell through because I thought that would have been a pretty good location. And then there was something on Cass that he talked to, and he didn't say exactly what it was, but it would have had a drive-through. So he'll find something.
Mm-hmm.
He's excited about it. The other thing that was really interesting, we also asked him about. I don't know if you heard it, but we also asked him about Over Easy, and he came right out and said, he goes, yeah, we were talking to Schwartz's Deli. Schwartz's is still open, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I don't know if they're planning.
Well,
on sticking
they're
around.
going to. I think.
On
they're-
air?
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they going? We're on air right now.
Well, kind of.
Aren't they going
We're
to
online.
Regency Landing?
Is that where Schwartz is going?
No, that's where Over Easy's been another location. Did we talk about that?
No, he didn't say. Oh, you're thinking of Early Bird.
Oh,
Early
sorry.
Bird, yeah, Early Bird. But
They have like.
I like Schwartz's Deli a lot. I don't go there very often because I don't think of it. It's a little on the pricey side, but I like it a lot. Their stuff's good.
Yeah, the food's good. I think my experience has just been.
How about
really
what's the
slow.
patisserie?
Yes,
What's
I have noticed
the
that.
one at 145th and Center? The French bakery.
Grand Patisserie.
La Patissiere or Grand Patissiere.
Yeah, Grand
It's
Patisserie.
awesome. There was a 1,000-layer cake or something.
Yeah.
I sometimes take walks over lunch, and one time this week I was walking around that West Side Countryside Village area and all that, and I thought I'd go into Lake Cotier, and they still require masks. And I was walking, I didn't have
10
one on me.
seconds.
I was like surprised they still required masks.
I still
Not,
keep one
not
in my
by the
car.
end of the week.
What's that?
I went by the end of the week, and they didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I was maybe just a day or two early.
They starved you out.
Because I was going to get one of those little pastries, but
You bring one out.
bring one up.
Pay some kid outside. Give me $1.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid representing NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate, the sponsoring company of Grow Omaha, along with D&M Roofing. And we have Stacy Winters with us, the founder of Omaha Food Lovers Group on Facebook, 62,400 members strong. And Stacy is going to join us for our Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight, sponsored by Noddle Companies. And today, guys, we're going to talk about Vacation in the Village, which is going to take place at Exarban Village. Of course, Exarban Village is a proud Noddle Companies development. But Stacy, this is really cool. You're teaming up with Noddle Companies, and we're bringing something real special to Exarban Village.
Definitely. So on, like you said, June 26th, from 11 till 7, we are doing the Vacation in the Village. Like you said, partnering with the Noddle Company, the Interrail Food Hall, to bring and bringing in, the Omaha Food Lover the members. I think we've kind of been wanting to get together, and it seems like the time is right now to be able to have an event like this to bring members together. We have all of the Interrail restaurants participating, several of the Exarban Village restaurants, retailers participating, and then we're bringing in 20 or so additional vendors that are, kind of well known to the Omaha food lovers. So some of the kind of the more popular ones, I guess I would say, we have Master's Hands bringing down their cinnamon rolls. They actually also have a shaved ice truck they're going to bring as well. We have I think Lee Cordier is going to be coming. We have some of the central Nebraska buffalo. So it's kind of some of those places that you see in the group a lot that are going to be bringing their food. And I think it's kind of I would say farmers market, foodie festival, art festival. We're going to have three different concerts planned that day. So we have a panel, kind of a Omaha food panel discussion with Sarah Baker Hansen, Dan Hoppen, Brian O'Malley from Metro Culinary Institute, and myself are going to have a discussion that day. A couple of cooking demonstrations that will be occurring. So, yeah, I think from 11 till 7, you kind of have an all-day food event. I think $30 for the tickets, and you get with that $30, you get 4 different signature entrees or drinks, cocktails from any of the participating vendors. So it's a pretty good deal. You can choose what you want. I think we're going to have probably 5 or 6 different local breweries participating as well. So you get to sample, drink, whatever. The beers that are there. I think that it's just going to be a great event. It's going to go, like I said, 11 till 7. But then even at 7, there's a concert in Stinson Park that night. So if you want to keep the party going and stay until 10 for the concert that night, you can do that as well. So you could get there at 11 and stay till 10 if you really wanted to.
So vacation in the village, and that's what people do when they go on vacation, is a lot of what they do is eat. So it's a perfect name. I assume that's where it came from. But I know the Noddles are working on an Airstream trailer. Is that going to be ready?
That actually opened yesterday.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I actually just had a meeting with the folks there, and they opened it at 3:30 yesterday afternoon. I think it was when it first opened. So I think it's called Sunny's. I think that's what they're calling it.
There's plenty of free parking. So
that's cool. Well, Vacation in the Village, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on June 26th. Exarban Village, Interrail, Omaha Food Lovers, and all of those great restaurants. That'll be pretty cool, pretty special. I know I'm going to be out there.
Yeah, you can go to Interrail's Facebook page, the Omaha Food Lovers Facebook page. There's plenty of mentions of the Vacation in the Village, and there's a link from Interrail to the ticket site, so you can buy them that way.
And that is your commercial real estate development spotlight, sponsored by Noddle Companies, an Omaha-based full-service real estate development company that can be reached at noddlecompanies.com. Well, Stacy, we now want to kind of turn this over to you, and we want to pick your brain a little bit on where we should go. I mean, Trent and I are always looking for somewhere new, so are our listeners. So right now, we would like for you to maybe kind of go through a few recent finds, discoveries you've had, or some hidden gems.
Right.
You might want to call them after this so to get staff up. For
I know, right? So a couple of them I'm going to point out are some South Omaha places that I've kind of personally discovered. Not that they're not brand new by any means, but I think everybody's been familiar with my favorite trend of 2020 was birria tacos. I love them. They're fantastic. But there is the originator in Omaha, which didn't really get a lot of notice until probably this last year, and still I don't think they're on the radar. Called Birria Area El Chalán, aka El Chalán. I think that's just what most people call them. They're literally right across the street from Omaha South High School. You can get their birria tacos, and they actually do the traditional birria tacos. Traditionally, are actually goat meat, so they do both goat and beef. But their tacos are outstanding. They're cheap. The food is amazing. It's great. So I would definitely put El Chalán on your list of places to go. Make sure you can get them with or without cheese. If you haven't ordered birria tacos, you kind of have to know how to ask them. If you want the cheesy version, you have to ask for the cheese, ask for the consommé, which is the dipping sauce. If you don't know what they are, they're kind of like the French dip version of a taco. You get the consommé that you can dip your tacos into, and it's so good. Another place that is down in South Omaha, again, you have to follow them really on Facebook or Instagram to kind of know, is Alley Taco 402. So talk about your hidden gems, right? They're a taco truck that pretty much operates 1 day a week on Saturdays. And it is located between 20th and 21st and U and W. So you do literally have to drive up the alley or walk up the alley, find the taco truck, and order your tacos. Again, really cheap, but their food is excellent. They're operating in a food truck, but they have a kitchen in the basement, kind of a commercial kitchen in the basement of a house there. And it's really, really good. The carne asada that I had there was some of the best, if not the best, I've had in Omaha. So it was a really good find. And you can find more traditional, if you want lingua or things like that. They have a lot of that as well. A third one I'd point out, I think that is another food truck. You guys talked about acai bowls, I think on your first segment, but the smoothie truck, which is in Papillion, in the parking lot, kind of across from where Target and Home Depot's at. It's in that parking lot down there. Their acai bowls are so good. They're really I love places that have kind of a small, simple menu. But they're offering smoothies, acai bowls, and avocado toast. And the acai bowls will keep me coming back for sure. It's kind of all.
Do they keep regular hours, do you think?
Again, that's probably one I would follow on Facebook to check their hours. They're usually open 12 to 4.
This is the west side of 84th Street. Washington or 84th Street.
It would be on 84th. It'd actually be on the east side of 84th in that parking lot across the street from Home Depot, Target down there. So kind of that parking lot that has Grecian Euros, Genesis, that parking lot there. But yeah, the acai bowls there, they have, I forget what the name of the one I got the last time, but it had like sunflower butter. So good. So, and then they have like the avocado toast that has different versions. You can get like a Greek avocado toast, some different toppings on them. So those are a couple, I think, that are kind of highlights for me since we last talked that I've kind of discovered. And I think definitely there's, I think one of the newest things is not new here. The Korean corn dogs. If you those have been.
I've not tried those.
I haven't either. I'll being honest. I haven't tried one of those either. They are very popular. That was another.
What makes a Korean corn dog?
So Korean corn dogs. There's only one place I know offering this. Midwest Oriental Foods, kind of off of 84th and.
It's Frederick Square.
Yeah, Frederick Square. Yeah, that's exactly it. Where the Shopco used to be, I think.
Are they frozen then?
No, well, they don't. I don't know if you can buy them frozen there, but you go in there and they serve them.
Oh, they'll make them. Okay.
They'll fry them up for you.
Kind of restaurant style.
Yeah.
It's a store.
So
way to go, Tom, the owner.
So they have they're kind of a salty sweet version. Like some of them, like the Korean corn dog. One of them I think has just like cheese inside of it. So there's no actual hot dog. It's just like a big cheese stick and wrapped in the paste or the batter, and then served with like crunchy potatoes on the outside of it. Kind of a strange. And some of them have like a little bit of sugar on the outside. So, but those were really popular too. Like we were talking earlier about people asking for stuff. And where to find it, and that's one that has taken off. So it was funny. Des Moines has a food group too, and people were asking about that the other day in Des Moines, and nobody there has them. And I was like, hey, if you want to come to Omaha, we got them. So yeah, that's one that's on my list to try.
Des Moines is a great city and all that, but in all honesty, our restaurant scene crushes Des Moines. I mean, I say, and Des Moines growing actually faster than we are. Great place, but their restaurant scene does not measure up to ours at all.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to get on, like critiquing anyone's restaurant scene. I find great gems everywhere I go. So,
well, you talked about some of them in South Omaha. Jorge Sotolongo, who is active on this show, lives right in the heart of South Omaha, and he's taken me a couple places. Taqueria Chongo on 24th Street. Loved it. I thought that was really good. And then I know, Stacy, you've been to Tixteco on 16th Street.
Yeah, Tixteco. They great little. They actually, I shouldn't say little. It's actually they moved from a smaller location to their current location. Their current location is cool because it has like the garage door opens up to a patio, and literally just this week I believe they started serving alcohol there too. Which, not that you need to have alcohol, but that is one thing with a lot of the South Omaha restaurants. They actually don't all serve margaritas and things like that. It's very rare, actually, for a lot of them to serve alcohol. But Tixteco did just do that recently, and their mole is really, really good. If you're into that kind of traditional, I hate the word authentic, but if you're into the authentic Mexican, that's really good there.
Well, we could talk forever on this subject, and that's why we'll keep having Stacy come back every quarter. In the meantime, if you want to continue to make yourself hungry, and like you probably have over the last 20 minutes or so, go to Omaha Food Lovers Group on Facebook. If you're not yet a member, just sign up for it. Usually the approval happens pretty fast because in addition to Stacy, has some other people helping him moderate, and then just enjoy, dig through it. And even for those of you who are Omaha natives, you will discover restaurants you've never heard of on Omaha Food Lovers. Stacy, thanks for everything you're doing for our local community and economy.
Absolutely. Thank you both for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll see you out at Exarban Village on June 26th, and then we'll have you back here next quarter.
Awesome. Thank you.
Stacy Winters from Omaha Food Lovers. Going to take our final short break, and then when we come back, it is the lightning round from Turner Construction. Lots on the docket. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI NP Dodge. News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Not that you need it, but hopefully this was kind of like a Jerry Lewis telethon where like your numbers on the page just keep going up and up and up.
Let me see, like, what do we got? Has there been many member? Really hasn't been. Oh, no, there's been 114 new member requests today.
That's kind of an average walk in the park for you guys.
The last hour.
What's your average turnaround time?
As far as approval?
Yeah.
We usually get them done within an hour or two. We're usually, I mean, we try to get like post approvals done. I mean, we'd say within an hour, but I would say most post approvals are done within 10 to 15 minutes.
Have you had any moderators that saves too much work?
Usually have mine done. Mine are usually done in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah. Typically they are.
Yeah. Now, when you're looking as to whether to approve someone, you just like check the name to make sure they haven't been like a flamethrower in the past or something like that.
Yeah, we typically, obviously we look to see how long have they been on Facebook, like their brand, like open account 8 hours ago. We get a lot of like those bot accounts from overseas, and so those they always happen like overnight, and then we just block those accounts so they don't ever get a chance. And if people don't, people don't always have to answer the questions. Like if I have like 20 mutual friends in common, you're usually pretty good. I'm just gonna look at that kind of stuff. So
just to make sure they look real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get a ton of those. The ones that are fake that like because the show we'll accept a lot of people, and a lot of people are already friends with Jeff, and so I still check them out. But
smart thinking.
Yeah. But then what happens is like, then you get a messenger request. Hi, how are you? How's it going? And then the next day, how's it going? And people that I know socially are just not friends with, and I'm like, their account was hacked.
Yeah, as soon as I see that, as soon as you get the hi or whatever, you immediately block
5
them.
seconds.
What happens if you go to omahafoodlovers.com? Do you own that?
No, there's nothing there yet.
Do you own it?
No, somebody else owns it.
Oh, do they?
They did that. It's been a couple. Yeah, they've had that forever. Somebody else had it.
And it's the lightning round brought to you by Turner Construction here on Grow Omaha. Turner is building for the future and doing an amazing job of it. They, of course, are well known here in Omaha as the general contractor for the massive multi-part Sarpy County data center on Highway 50, but they do all sorts of other projects. In fact, just this week, someone sent me a bid request email for a project that Verizon is doing. Verizon is expanding their local technology facility at 149th and F Street, which is like a fortress, by the way. If you've ever driven by it, it looks really cool. And Turner Construction was the general contractor on there. So they do all sorts of stuff. And it doesn't matter whether it's a big project or a little project, Turner Construction does all of it. And we are so proud to have them. They have 800 projects corporate-wide that they did in the $1 to $5 million range last year. So it's not just the big, massive stuff that they do. Although they do that, they can do your project too. Turner Construction, sponsor of the Grow Omaha Lightning Round. All right, we're going to talk about cookies a little bit. We've mentioned Goodly Cookies in the past out of Utah coming.
Yep.
They're now open. And then
Village Point.
Mary's Mountain Cookies out of Fort Collins, Colorado. They've already been here. They have a location at Rockbrook, but they're opening up by Javi's Tacos at 180th and Q. And so I looked this up, and so I decided as a service to Grow Omaha listeners, I was going to check them out. and I've not yet tried the Goodly, but I went to Mary's Mountain Cookies and had the Oreo cookie. Pretty darn good. But they have 14 locations in 8 states. As far as Goodly Cookie, first location outside of Utah, but now open. It looks like we've got another Starbucks joining the lineup. We've had several Grow Omaha listeners reach out to us in the last couple of weeks. Well, that one we've already talked about, but we've had several Grow Omaha listeners reach out to us and ask us about Starbucks possibly going to 86th and Dodge. And I have an official answer for you. It's looking really good. How's that for an official answer? I'm not authorized to say. Actually, there could possibly maybe be an agreement that is possibly maybe not 100% done, but the rumblings that a lot of people have been hearing are very possibly true.
Yes. That
there could possibly be a freestanding Starbucks in front of that recently renovated long horizontal building.
It's a liquid decision right now.
At 86th and Dodge. That's true, very liquid. Although they do have some solids there as well. Main Street Cellars, Trenton, is going to be really cool. Last week, I was taking a little walk up and down Main Street in Old Town Elkhorn, and there was this little building, really small, kind of had, to be honest with you, an ugly shake-shingled mansard roof on it, but there was a poster saying, coming soon, Main Street Cellars. And then they had architectural renderings on the poster of what the building is going to look like. It is going to look like nothing like it does right now. It's going to be amazing.
Where is this?
Right in the middle of Main Street in downtown Elkhorn.
Nice.
Got to say it fast. Music is playing, but this was going to be really cool opening later this year. Well, the music tells me to shut up, so we're done for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha and the Lightning Round, brought to you by Turner Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.